3, 2, 1.
We are here for the 22nd annual Scott Mackler 5K. It started in the year 2000, 1 year after our father was diagnosed with ALS. He was a runner, an avid runner, ran several marathons, and he decided he wanted to do a 5K for this foundation.
Our dad's legacy was always to give as much as he could, and his thought immediately when he got this disease was, we want to find a way to make sure that people who need to communicate are able to get the technology that they need to communicate, and that was sort of the genesis of this fund.
I worked with Scott for 5 or more years. I was able to see his journey of using a communication device and then being one of the first people in the United States to use a brain-computer interface to not only communicate but to work. He was groundbreaking.
And basically it's EEG, and they put electrodes all over his head, and he would look at the screen and then it knows what letter to pick, and he would write his papers that way. And I never knew Scott when he could talk, but his ability to communicate with that in other ways was amazing.
The Scott A. Mackler Assistive Technology Fund benefits ALS patients in the greater Philadelphia area by providing them with necessary communicative technology so they can talk to their loved ones and caregivers.
Assistive technology, as defined, is any device, whether commercially made or self-made, that helps a person with a disability do something. You name it, there is an assistive technology device out there that will help somebody with ALS do something that they can no longer do.
So this assistive technology that's rapidly developed over the past decade plus has really given patients with ALS their voice back.
I use my tech to talk to people face to face. I can laugh with them and cry with others. I use it to communicate what is my favorite tool, my mind.
So you can adapt assistive technology to your specific needs, and Steve Cronin is a great example of this. Steve's device actually lets somebody stand in front of him and they can see what he's typing without having to look over his shoulder or predict what he's saying.
Before I had ALS, I woke up with people I love and doing things that I love doing. With ALS, nothing has changed. I do it in a different way.
Because of the technology, it's made communication so much easier, and it is really vital to his care, I believe now. I mean, it's, when we're out and he's not able to communicate, tell me something, he's able to do it with his computer. It's just so much easier.
The technology keeps getting better, and this is now my second device. I can't thank the Mackler family enough for keeping this necessary device funded for the people who really need it.
Most of these assistive technology devices are not covered under insurance. So the advent of the Scott Mackler program was such a turning point for people with ALS in the greater Philadelphia area.
We've raised almost $3 million to ensure that any ALS patient in the greater Philadelphia area can have this technology whether they can afford it or not. And thus far, in more than 20 years of this event, there's not been a single ALS patient in the greater Philadelphia region that has gone without this needed technology for want of money.
And the fact that we've been going for 22 plus years now, and hopefully on into the future until we can get rid of ALS, is just a phenomenal testament to our dad's memory.